This is all I've ever known. Is that even
Possible for me?
I don't want to miss anything.
I don't need that.
I don't want to acknowledge my pain.
Fine.
I don't want to get poked with needles.
I don't want that.
There's nothing wrong.
I'm fine.
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 But what happens if I can't cry on cue? I remember someone asking this of our freshman year acting professor. Do I just fake it? The professor answered as only he could. You can't fake the funk. You can only feel it. As a young actor, I admit I had a similar question to my peer. What if the script calls for an emotional experience that I, in that moment, am not actually having? What do I do? How do I act without faking it if I'm not really feeling it? Fortunately, the plight of the actor isn't something that most of us have to concern ourselves with. But as a person with hemophilia, at the time I first heard this, I had been thinking about how to overcome how I'm really feeling for a long time. There are numerous reasons that someone with an inheritable bleeding disorder like hemophilia could adopt an I'm fine mindset. Today, I have invited my friend and fellow person with hemophilia, Michael Bishop, to speak with me about what it means to fake it till you make it, and how that mentality can lead to or reinforce the ever so problematic I'm fine mindset. Hi, Michael. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Patrick.
Growing up, I got quite used to a fake it mentality. I didn't want to be excluded or miss out on activities. I didn't want to be seen or treated differently. And a lot of times, I realize now, I simply didn't want to admit to myself how unwell I really was. Has hemophilia led you to take a fake it till I make it approach to certain things? And if it has, how has that played out in your life?
I think primarily that showed up to me when I was hanging out with friends, even in like simple situations, walking around the zoo or something, having a day at like an amusement park. It always felt like, you know, life was pay to play and I just had to pay a little bit more. I would ignore the fact that this was most likely going to lead to a bleed for me. And it was just, okay, I'm going to pay for this on the other end of it, but I'm going to fake and pretend like everything's cool throughout this day. I'm totally normal. And then my friends just won't see me for the next couple days while I recover from this. You know, not considering the damage that was going to be doing to my joints or factoring in the discomfort I was going to feel the next couple days. All I wanted was that one day of faking it. And I did not really care what that meant for the rest of my life, basically.
Adopting a fake it till I make it approach to things has historically reinforced this idea that I'm fine. I don't need support. I don't need help. I don't want any extra attention coming my way, which has been problematic for me in my life. Have you found this to be the case in your experience?
Yes, absolutely. And I think a particularly difficult thing about hemophilia is that it changes. Your needs could change throughout your life. For me, my joints have gotten significantly worse throughout my 20s. And so every time I felt like I was comfortable asking for the assistance that I needed, suddenly I needed more, you know, and I had to like grieve that all over again and had to come back and say, actually, I just got comfortable asking you guys for this stuff, but I need some additional things from you now, or I need a little more patience and a little more time to get ready or navigate the world with you. And so I definitely relate to that. And it's an ongoing thing for me. I think it forever changes because hemophilia changes forever.
Michael, one thing that theater school really drilled into me is the power of emotional truth. The power of not what I would like to be true, but of what is actually really going on. Over the course of your life, how have you helped yourself get in touch with what's actually going on and not fall into the trap of the I'm fine mindset?
It's hard because I'm not perfect at it. And I don't think anyone is, but those lessons really come to me just through trial by fire, just learning my lesson the hard way, where I accept some responsibility at a job or something that I don't know if I can handle. I don't think I can handle, but I'm just going to put on this face and say that I'm fine. And that comes back to haunt you, you know? And so I think playing the tape out and learning from the past, and even if the situation isn't exactly the same, even if the accommodation you're asking for isn't the same or the people aren't the same, you kind of can draw on that experience. And that's what I've been doing now. And I think even though I am more, I need more physical assistance than I ever have in my life, I am the happiest I've ever been simply because I'm very open with the people around me, and I can ask for things I need. I'm not embarrassed to be in a wheelchair. I'm not embarrassed to ask my friends to help me pick up the wheelchair and put it in my car or whatever it is. Like, I think it's drawing on past experiences, and then it truly does get easier. The more you let yourself ask for help, the easier it is to accept it, because you see that you're much happier in the long run.
Michael, as always, I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for being vulnerable and sharing with us here today on BloodStream. Hemophilia severity is determined by factor activity levels, a measurement of how much factor you have in your blood at time of diagnosis. The more factor you have in your body over time, the better your bleed protection is, which is why many people with hemophilia choose to treat prophylactically. Your doctor can perform measurements to evaluate the factor activity levels in your blood. Learn more about the importance of factor activity levels by talking to your doctor and visiting levelsmatter.com. Sanofi aims to raise the bar for patients living with hemophilia. Reimagine what's possible by visiting rareblood.disorders.com to hear more about Sanofi's dedication to the bleeding disorders community. It's not always comfortable to be emotionally honest, even with ourselves. In the short term, adopting a fake it till I make it attitude can help me avoid that discomfort. However, if I consistently lean on fake it till I make it, I'm regularly reinforcing a disconnection between how I am really doing, how I'm processing how I'm really doing, and how I am expressing myself to others. Challenging an I'm fine mindset is an important step in determining whether or not my care, treatment, and overall approach to healthcare management is adequately serving my needs. And look, as a parent and a business owner, I know that sometimes, for a moment, we have to fake it for the sake of the greater good. I give myself grace and allowance for those moments, so long as faking it doesn't become the unchallenged rule. For more on mindset and other areas of mental health, check out the resources at mentalhealthmatters2.com. Thanks to Michael Bishop for joining and sharing his lived experience with mindset, and thanks to Sanofi for supporting this segment. Subscribe to the BloodStream podcast wherever you listen, and we'll be back next time with another installment of I'm Fine.